Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt with Halloween Daily News, and today we are talking Batman The Long Halloween and the long awaited feature film animated adaptation. It's coming in two parts this year. Part one will be released on June 22nd, with part two to follow in the fall. And today we got our first look at part two. Surprisingly, I didn't expect a trailer for part two or anything from part two until the release of part one. But today, IGN had the exclusive drop of the official trailer for The Long Halloween Part 2. The Long Halloween is, of course, an iconic storyline from the mid 1990s by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It involves the holiday killer. It begins on Halloween. It takes place throughout the following year, concluding on the following Halloween. And the holiday killer, as the name suggests, kills on every holiday throughout that year. It was originally a 13 issue comic book arc, and this new two-part adaptation is also going to be released in a 4K combo pack at some point in 2022. Let's take a look at the trailer for part one. Part one is, of course, rated PG 13, whereas part two is rated R. Now, if you recall, it starts with bells ringing, like Christmas bells ringing in the background. And there we see Harvey Dent, voiced by Josh Duhamel, talking to Batman, voiced in this film by Jensen Ackles. He says, I want to win, but do I want to win like this? And you can see that they are standing there at the foot of a giant stack of cash, which immediately, if you're a Batman fan, probably brings to mind Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And of course, Harvey Dent, the future Two-Face, says one of his signature lines here in this opening segment, I'm of two minds here. And Batman himself says, so it's a coin flip. Again, I mean, could you say foreshadowing? I do really like that here, we get the Warner Brothers and DC logos on the flip sides of the coin. This is a very inventive and cool way to show the logos and kick off the trailer for part one. And we hear about Johnny Vitti and the Falcone crime family, and obviously the Gotham City turf war going on, the Gotham City mobsters at war with each other. There's the naughty, a quick shot of the Joker, and you hear the Joker's laugh throughout. In the comic book version of the story, at least, Joker doesn't play that big of a role. He does appear, as so many of Batman's iconic villains do. And they say the naughty and the nice. Uh, Joker saying that there's only room for one homicidal maniac in this town. Trick or treat. There's our first look at Catwoman. In this film, she is voiced by the late Naya Rivera, who, of course, died very tragically in 2020. She was probably best known for starring on the series Glee. Great shot of Batman. And there, again, the Joker's laughter echoing throughout this. Batman questioning Catwoman, and she says you could use a little fun. Hero or villain. Again, foreshadowing the transformation of Two-Face, obviously, from hero to villain. And the street punk there says, I thought you didn't hurt people, and Batman says, I thought you thought wrong. So again, a more vicious Batman. Now, the Calendar Man also plays prominently in this story, voiced here by David Desmalchin. He's also doing the voice for Penguin. A whole year of holiday mayhem. Um, there we had a quick glimpse of Harvey and his wife talking. Uh, part of the plot is that Harvey will be trying to balance his new marriage, his personal life with his DA's life, and of course we know where it's gonna end up with him becoming Two-Face eventually. Great shot here, Batman landing in the center of the street. Again, now Catwoman is atop that giant pile of cash. And there we have it, Batman The Long Halloween Part 1. And it ends with the question Alfred is questioning who is Holiday, and of course Batman answers, and who is next. So yeah, this trailer looks great. I really think these adaptations are going to be super awesome this year. I can't wait. This is a landmark story. Now we're going to take a look at the R-rated Part 2. Now, this trailer, of course, just dropped today. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. As you can see, it is rated R. All right, here we go. Now, the first thing, again, not a coin flip here, but kind of a tick-tock, tick-tock, which immediately, I don't know about you guys, but it made me think of The Batman, Matt Reeves' live-action movie that was originally supposed to be released this summer and then this Halloween season, and now it's set for next year. The teaser trailer that was released last year for The Batman, if you recall, opened and not quite TikTok, but kind of was that duct tape sounding like a tick tick, and the logos. This intro kind of made me think of that, and also is good reason to believe that the Batman, the live action movie coming next year, is going to be at least somewhat influenced by the comic book story of The Long Halloween. How much so and how much has changed, we don't know yet. But all right, let's move into this trailer. Now, again, right there, we see a striking image, and I had to zoom in to really see it, but that is Batman and Catwoman embracing there on the rooftop and fires blazing. And we have Carmen Falcone, the crime boss, talking here in the beginning, narrating, and then we see that he is talking to Batman. And this is a great line to kick off this trailer. It says, "Do you know what my people called this past year? The Long Halloween." And there we get the title said. Great shot there of Scarecrow. I don't know where he's at, what's on fire here, but it looks pretty awesome. And what an awesome shot of Scarecrow right there. The clock is ticking. Again, keeping the ticking time bomb aspect going. Because at this point in the story, it's been at least half the year has gone, and they know now that this holiday killer is out there, and he is killing on every holiday, every month throughout the year. So the clock is ticking to the next holiday. Um, and because it's the second half of the year, we can see that here this looks like a 4th of July celebration. So I imagine part one will probably take us roughly from October through June, whereas part two will pick up with July 4th and end back at Halloween the following year. There we see a little bit more 4th of July in the background. That was a quick shot of the Calendar Man. Again, he's locked up, and Batman is kind of going to him in a Hannibal Lecter way to try to get info. And here we have the beginning of Harvey Dent's descent into darkness, making deals to get Falcone out of the way. And the end has just begun. And of course, that is a clear reference once again to Harvey. This will be the chapter where he becomes Two-Face. And it looks there that it appears that Harvey is talking. That's definitely Josh Duhamel as Harvey Dent talking to Bruce Wayne or Batman, apparently about his parents, saying that his father, Thomas Wayne, went into business with Carmine Falcone. And according to Harvey here, that's what got Bruce's parents killed. Awesome shots of Batman jumping through Gotham City. And I love this soundtrack. Again, a much darker feel than that first trailer for part one. Um, the look is very much the same, but just this tone, this music especially. And if you notice the music in the trailer when you listen to it, again I go back to the Matt Reeves teaser that was released last year, um, and the little bit of soundtrack music that has come out from that film. And it kind of, I feel like this movie is kind of trying to tap into that vibe a bit. And then the whole vengeance thing again, you know, that made me think of the live action The Batman as well. Again, we're gonna have more fun with Scarecrow. And in this chapter, we have Poison Ivy joins the fun, and she is voiced in part two by Katie Sackhoff, who Halloween franchise fans will remember from Halloween Resurrection. You also know her from Battlestar Galactica, The Clone Wars, and most recently, she starred in the most recent season of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. Here she is voicing Poison Ivy. Again, Harvey is falling to his eventual fate as Two-Face. Even before he's disfigured, he's clearly taking the law and matters into his own hands, taking what he sees as justice into his own hands. Great shot here of Poison Ivy. And here we get some quick glimpses of some of the other villains that we saw a little more of in the previous trailer. You hear Joker laughing, and you see him quickly. There's a few others that we see, and here's where the pivotal moment, it looks like, where Harvey Dent is disfigured and becomes the villain known as Two-Face. I mean, some of these images look right out of storyboarding for a live action film. That's clearly Harvey recovering in the hospital. Great shots of Catwoman and some of the other villains that we're gonna see throughout this thing. There's Joker again. A lot of firepower. Calendar Man again. Solomon Grundy. And there we go. And it concludes with the full reveal of Two-Face. And what is this? And he says, Judgment Day. So there we have it, guys. The trailer for Batman, The Long Halloween Part 1 and Part 2. They both look great to me. I definitely cannot wait to check these out later this year. Again, Part 1 is already set for release on Blu ray and VOD on June 22nd. Part 2 will follow at a date to be announced this fall. And then, if you can hold off, next year they're going to release both of them in a combo pack on 4K. So we can look forward to that. I'd love to hear what you thought of these trailers. Let me know in the comments below. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming reports or exclusive content here on the Halloween Daily News channel. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.